Are you tired of your Minecraft builds looking like this, and you want them to look a bit more like this? Well, look no further. You found the right channel. So in today's video, we're going to be covering a house tutorial, a full house tutorial on how to make a really nice house and change it from your newbie starter house. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a look at some color palettes that I've quickly set up. A color palette is basically blocks that go well together. So yeah, so you can see here that these all stem from one block, right? That's stone, and that's also stone. This is a log, this is also a log, and this is a plank, which is pretty much all from the same block, because when I craft a log, it will craft into a plank. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep that in mind. So over here, you'll see this will be somebody's default house. I don't know what this is, so don't even worry about that. But yeah, so someone's house might look something like that, you know, and it would be just a, you know, a long box, pretty much, a bit wider, obviously. But let's go ahead and upgrade this build and make this wall look more like a wall, okay? Because right now this is looking a bit 2D and it's not looking the best. We can definitely make this look a lot better. Okay, so let's get into it. So again, referencing back to a color palette, right? This shows what blocks will suit oak planks the best. So let's start off with an oak log, right? What you may also find is that people will build their buildings like this. And yes, again, that does definitely give more texture to the building, but it also doesn't quite give off that 3D illusion. It still looks kind of 2D. So let's upgrade this even further. Let's go ahead and break these planks and place them one block back. And that already looks a lot more nicer. Let's go ahead and get a glass block over here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. That's so annoying. But now we kind of have this more evolved version of a house wall. So how can we take this wall to even more of a level? Because right now it still looks pretty bland. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to now build another block out, just so we can have a little door. So I'll be back when this is all finished. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've made the outline of the house just a little bit bigger than that single block because it was really small. Like if we go over and have a look, you can see I only have room for one block in the middle, so I've just gone ahead and made it a slight bit bigger there. A slight bit bigger. So anyways, let's look on how to improve this house. I'm not going to go on to interiors yet, I'll get into that later. Now let's go on and look on how to improve this building more. So again, referencing that color palette, this is what we're going to be sticking to, and don't forget those stone brick stairs. I just really can't be asked to place them in. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. You can see that we are matching to the color palette. We still have not found a use for this block, but don't worry, that will come in later, I promise. So let's go ahead and just quickly add a little bit more depth to this build. So again, sticking to the color palette, we should have obviously oak stairs, right? That matches the color palette because they're stairs of, you know, oak. So let's go ahead and give it some more depth. Now how can we do that? Well, we're going to place an upside down stair on each one, and we're also going to take an oak slab. And then we're going to go ahead and basically do the exact same thing on each side here. Now let's go ahead and add that singular window, and instead of using a normal window, we're going to use a glass pane. Why? Because it gives more depth. And I also really like this slab blocking out this window because it just, I don't know, the half cut off looks really nice in my personal opinion. So we're going to go ahead and do that on both sides here. Alright, so now we have this on a wall. Let's go ahead and see what else we can do to this. So we're going to look at a roof design real quick. Alright, so what I've gone ahead and done is I've added a roof that you will see on most standalone bases, okay? So that's going to be these stairs, and sometimes people, you know, if they can be bothered, will do an upside down stair like that, just to give it that nice, you know, bit more illusion. There is still so many more improvements that we can add to this, okay? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and give this a trim. Actually no, first of all, I'm going to give the roof some more depth. So how do we do that? Well, again, coming out from this oak plank, the oak log, we're going to build a stair. Let me just destroy this. Alright, okay, so now I'm back. This is the finished roof design with the added depth. So literally what I've done, as I was explaining, is I've just, instead of placing the oak stairs on the log, I've placed it one to the left of the log, or on the outside of the log, with these upside down stairs going all the way to the top. So that would literally be just that. It's as easy as doing that. And then once both sides have met in the middle, I've placed a slab just like this. No, I haven't. I've placed an upside down stair with a slab on top of the upside down stair, so it's literally like that. I will get another block just to make that a little bit easier on the eyes. So you can see how we have the upside down stair right there, and then we have all these other upside down stairs connecting to the roof leading up to the meeting point. So that's how we've gone ahead and done this, but I still feel like we can make this 10 times better. So let's refer back to the pallets. So coming back to the pallets, if you saw in the beginning of the video, we have the stairs. Now this is what the stairs come really useful. We're now going to begin on a trim for the roof. But now what I mean by a trim is basically this roof will have oak planks on the inside, and on the outside, which is the depth side, it will have the stone. So I'll cut back when that's finished. Okay, so now we have a nice representation of what I mean by a trim roof. Okay, so we can see on the outside it's stone, but on the inside we actually have planks. Now you can do this all the way around. You wouldn't add the planks like this though. You want it to be literally a trim. So you would add stone on the outside layer of the roof, and then you would add your planks on the inside layer of the roof. And then on the other side, which is this side, you would just basically do the same thing with the trim, making the stairs meet to the top, yada yada yada. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and that will make the roof shine a little bit more. So just imagine that's all connected. You can see we have these stone stairs on the outside and the oak stairs on the inside, and that brings in another really strong homely feel. Now another thing we're going to do is we're going to give this next level here, which will be the attic, another layer of depth. We're going to throw the plank up like that and give it this kind of cross design. Now we can really evolve this even more. Another thing that I like to do is just add this outward block here on each side. Which again really strengthens that depth illusion. Alright, for now I'm going to leave that as it is. And we're just going to take a look at this. Okay, now there is a lot more that we can add to this. So the next thing we're going to go over is again the color palette, and this time using texturing. So we can use these stripped logs to kind of break some of the oak logs to give it that weird kind of like, don't place it on these anchors by the way, to give it more of that sort of just really nice and cozy. And you want to make it look random, right? You don't want it to look perfect, you really don't. You just want it to look like it's like, imagine it's just randomly generated. That's what you want it to look like. And we're going to do the exact same with the normal planks. Yep, and just something like that, you know, it adds a lot more texture. Now another thing that you'll see on a lot of bases is a torch. Okay, now for the cheaper, like let's say you were building in survival mode, for the lantern is cheaper. Well, it's not cheaper, but it's cheap and it looks nicer. All it takes is one iron ingot that you craft into 9 nuggets. And then that's basically how you make a lantern. You craft it into 9 nuggets and you put the torch in the middle and turn it into a lantern. You don't need to know crafting recipes, okay? I'm sure you already know. But now we can see that what we can do to elevate this house even more. Now I like that, I really do. You guys might not. again, it's all personal preference when it comes to building, but there are certain things that everyone loves, which is depth. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to start placing some of these lanterns in really nice spots that really liven up the build. So even just those 4, actually going to remove this. Even just these, something like that looks really clean. It looks like the lighting aspect of this really gives it a more homey kind of vibe. Now, what we can do to level this up even more is give it some color. So what I mean by that is giving yourself a nice flower pot, getting yourself a nice trapdoor. Now, what about oak is that spruce fits oak really well. Like if I put that on the side, you'll see that really fits in still. So what we then do is we make some grass, and with this outer layer, we just put some grass with a flower pot on top, with a nice little window there. Do that for either side. I'm not going to make it 2, I'm just going to make it 1. And then we can put a nice little flower in there. Just to really give it a little bit more of that detail. Now again, we can do the exact same for down here. So, placing these trapdoors all around. Flower, get a nice different flower this time, maybe like a blue orchid. Lily valleys, just really spruce it up a little bit. Okay, and that gives us more color to the build, you know, more illusion. And again, this is again all personal preference when it comes down to decorations, really, and the roof design. But I like this. I feel like this is really nice. And there is even more that we can do. So for instance, down here, we can spruce, just like we can't. We can do this to kind of give it that more depth again. Now, you can see that I mentioned depth a lot. That's because it really is important in your builds. Lovely. Now, you can go as far as to do that, but I actually think it's a little bit too much. So I like that. I really do. And then I'm going to come over here. And again with the lantern. Actually, no, I'm not, because there's nowhere to place one. But yeah, honestly, do what you want to this. Make it what you want. Make it how you want. And yeah, really just try to add detail. Now we're going to look over the roof. So we've done texturing, as you can see, these different blocks. Actually, I might have missed, doing some down here too. Oh, that looks so nice. Yeah, it looks really good. Really good. I'm trying to debate whether I like this stuff there or not, but I think I do. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, so now we got that down. Alright. So now we have this, which evolved from kind of this, right? You can see the difference already. It looks so beautiful. It really does. So now, the next step that we can go into to make this build so much more nicer is texturing on the roof. So what that is again using these color-coded blocks that we have. Color-coded? Oh my god, I'm breaking fine all over the place right now. Help me. Color palette. Using these color palettes, again, we just go in there, break up some of those blocks to make it look a bit more random. And this really adds that more depth kind of illusion. And yeah, again, you can fiddle with it, do what you want with it, change it up a little bit, make it different, make it unique to your own version of a nice house. Now the next thing we can go ahead and do is use some oak leaves. So yeah, let's go ahead and use these oak leaves. Now what do we use oak leaves for? Well, we can give it this kind of mossy look, right? So add some nature blocks. going to use oak leaves, and we're actually also going to use vines. Put some vines around your building. So I'm going to place some here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, just to give it more of that nature's touch. Blocks to give it that momentum. And we're going to come around to the side, and we're also going to fill in some grass blocks and just make them kind of fall in this randomized pattern to the ground. And that really gives it more color, more vibrance, and more of a living space. We don't really need color palettes now because you guys have sussed out what that is by now, hopefully. And yeah, you can see how well this is really coming along. It looks really beautiful. Really beautiful. Now we're going to move on to a door entrance design, okay? So, whereas most of doors will look something like... this. It's an easy block to get. I mean, again, if you're in creative, it doesn't matter what block you're using. But, you know, if you're in survival, most people would choose the standard oak door. Go ahead, drop that, never use that again, and use a nice spruce door. Okay, that's already a bit of an improvement. I'm going to go ahead and just finish what I've done around these edges. I'm not going to do it on every edge. And again, I'm going to come back here and get these oak stairs. And I'm going to place a little archway there again. Something like that, really easy. Now, I'm going to break that slab real quick, just to show something. I'm going to break this door, and I'm going to place it on the inside of my building. So that way, again, it brings more depth. And then we're also going to take some oak stairs and place it upside down with a slab in front. That just looks really good to me. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks really good. And I'm going to take that. And I think the reason why I like this so much is because it kind of, again, it just has that illusion of like realism to it a little bit. I'm not saying that Minecraft is a realistic game. Oh no, what have I done? This looks terrible. Right here at least. Alright, that's better. And then again, we can follow that same archway design. One each. You don't always have to make it different, right? It'll always be the same. Sometimes. And then here, again, we're just going to do that same sort of grass block. The flower pot. But this time I might change it up a little bit and go for a nice fern or a spruce up. Give that a little bit of a darker remnants to it. And from here, we can add some more lanterns to the outside of the base. What is that noise? What am I picking up? What is that? Bob, bob. Okay, don't really matter. So I'm just going to place them in a nice line, just like that. I think that's actually too many, so I'll break those. And again, it doesn't hurt to add more vines. Not vines, sorry. Leaves. That way you have this nice little walk entrance to your front door. If you were copying this exact same house, which you don't have to do, this is genuinely an overview of all houses and a tactic that you can do in pretty much every single house in the game. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is change up the stairs, so we can add a bit of spruce stairs to it. And do the same thing with the bricks, and just kind of incorporate this moss kind of design in there. And right where the most of the leaves sit is where I want to make it really mossy. And that looks really good. Again, I might do the exact same thing there just because the leaves are sitting there. Now, what we can go ahead and do is start on this side properly now. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is add a little bit of a pillar. Now, I don't really know what will look best, so I'm just going to see what I like more out of these two. Definitely spruce. So I'm going to add this small little kind of pillar design leading into my builds. That looks really good. And again, because it's quite mossy over there. We're going to add a little bit of that mossy fill. Again, just making it as random as possible. Alrighty, so from there we can now start making this a little bit more textured. Now we might add some little bumps and ridges, right? The roof over time is kind of decayed. And we can just simply do that by adding different you can kind of see how those bumps looks really good. And now we have the full exterior done. Oh, it looks really nice. Really good. You see we spent a little bit more time on this. And this we've tried to detail as much as we can. There is still many more possibilities out there for your guys' builds and different designs that you may use. But for now, I feel like this looks really good. And we have this nice little interior here that I will go ahead and begin to start on in the next video, if you would like to see that, of course. But yeah, if you'd like to see more future content, please let me know, because I love making videos to help people out. And yeah, so that's how we went from a house that looks pretty much like this to a house that looks like this. Really brilliant. Really brilliant. Thank you guys all for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.